a list of the UK's sexiest women, as voted for by men, has been revealed. Amanda Holden, Lily Allen and Angela Rayner all made the top 10. And so did our Katie.
Yeah.
How are you feeling this morning at this marvellous validation of your sexiness?
Cloud nine, absolute cloud. I'm going to go out for a Prosecco later. No, I've been desperate to get on this list for some time. I feel positively decorated, what with the OBE and now number 7 in the list. I was beaten by a fellow loose woman, I think, Stacey Solomon.
Oh, Stacey, yes.
She was number 6, so we will be at war.
No, she was number 3.
Oh, number 3?
Yeah.
OK.
Number 6 was Maya Jama.
OK. Well, do you know what, though? I do think it's a really interesting topic because I think sexy is a feeling, it's an aura, it's a vibe that you put out there. And obviously, I give that in abundance to everybody I meet.
Well done, you.
Well, a spokesperson from the survey said this year's list proves that confidence and individuality are the new sexy and that there's a growing appetite for personality over polish.
Right, well, why aren't I on it then? I just asked the question. I hate these lists. I mean, I remember when I was a newspaper editor, suddenly I was on the list of the most 20 powerful women in the media. And
well, that's true, I think.
No, but the thing is, once you're at the top of a list, there's only one way to go, and that's down.
Well, I'm only number 7, so I'm fine with that. Got years left.
But we live in a society where everything is on a list now, isn't it?
But how would you define sexy, Janet?
Oh, just like Janet.
Well, to be honest, I actually think the nation as a whole is having less sex. The birth rate has gone down. Young people say they're less interested in sex than my generation. Back in the 1960s, when I was a teenager, I could think about nothing else. And I practiced what I preached. I was at it a lot. Far more than young people today. But whether having a lot of sex made me sexy, I don't know. But I certainly thought I was hot to trot in my 20s. But it's not something that I think young people are as preoccupied with now. I think they define sex in a completely different way.
Well, being sexy is in a way different to actually having... I mean, being sexy is like a concept that's sort of almost outside the bedroom.
Being sexy seems like such an old-fashioned concept,
How do you think the definition of sexy has changed?
I think, as you say, that it's a vibe, it's an aura, it's a something, and, you know, you see someone walk in a room and they're not necessarily the most beautiful or the tallest or the whatever, but they exude something that's very, very attractive. But I'm not sure, like, I know we get told the whole time that our idea of what sexy has changed and it's broadened and we've become much more accepting as a culture and everything, but I'm just not sure that that's true. You know, I still think that what's represented to us as sexy has changed very, very little since I was, you know, a teenager or in my 20s. You know, it's still sort of Barbie, OnlyFans, pneumatic, you know, perfect skin,
I don't agree.
big eyes,
I think young
giant
people
lips,
under 25 think completely differently. The people they find attractive, they think in a much more less restrictive way than we did. I think they think...
Are you speaking from your own experience, Janet?
Well, no, I think my life was a bit pick and mix, to be honest, without going into details, but...
I was going to say, we haven't got enough time now for Janet's sex life.